Hello, mages of every color. It is Jimothy the Blue here. We're here. Got to play a fun affinity list in the new meta. Obviously, utilizing the Mox Opals. Got the pretty one here. I am copying a list. This is the one list that managed to go 5-0. I'm sure there are a lot of people playing affinity. I'm going to trust the judgment of the person who played it. His name was like RN App 21, something like that. I'm sure it stands for something, but the it's an interesting build. I'm not 100% sold on everything. I don't fully understand it all as far as the specific choices of the deck, but we'll just talk about briefly. If you're not familiar with Affinity, it's kind of funny because I think this is the only card in the deck that still has Affinity, but Affinity for artifacts means that a spell costs one less for each artifact you control. Oh, Thoughtcast still has it too. There are other affinity like creatures and cards, but it basically just means playing lots of cheap artifacts. And as you see, we have a full, uh, 12 plus, we have 16 zero drops plus the 1 drops and 2 drops, as well as more 1 drops here. I'll explain how it's sorted here in a minute. The Urza Saga targets are kind of over here, are one ofs. And then these are like mana cards that aren't lands. So Opal, Drum, and our Sink into Stupors obviously we're familiar with from Blue Belcher, but so we only play 14 lands, but we really have 10 more mana sources, so we're at 24 mana sources, which is obviously a decently high number for a deck that kind of curves out at 2. Emery's cost is reduced. It says it costs 1 less for each artifact you control, which essentially is affinity for artifacts, but they spelled it out instead of putting affinity on Emery. Patchwork Automon gets a +1/+1 counter every time you cast this artifact spell. It also has Ward 2, which I think is the reason it's played over like Arcbound Ravager. It's a lot harder to kill because of that ward. We're only playing 2 cranial plating, which is one of the things that is weird to me. I feel like that's one of the big payoffs for playing an affinity deck. It gives your creature +1/+0 for every artifact you control. You can equip it for 1, or you can attach it at instant speed for double black, which we can create sometimes with Springleaf and Mox Opal. Our Thought Monitors obviously is a 2/2 flyer that draws 2 cards. We can usually cast it for 1 blue. And then Kappa Cannoneer has Improvise, which isn't the same as Affinity because you have to tap artifacts to reduce its cost. But it has Ward 4, comes in as a 4/4, and it's a turtle, which means it's amazing. And every time an artifact enters, which isn't when it's cast, so Patchwork is when it's cast, Kappa is when it enters, which means something like Darksteel Citadel triggers Kappa but won't trigger Patchwork. And then Urza Saga getting an artifact will trigger Kappa, but won't trigger Patchwork. Just something to note there. But it gets big, and it also becomes unblockable every time an artifact enters. Emery allows you to chain, use something like a Mishra's Bauble, or replay any of your artifacts that have been destroyed, which is very powerful. Then our 1-drops here, our 1-ofs are mostly targets for Urza Saga. Spellbomb is great against something like Hollow One or Murktide, or a Frog that has counters on it, or all these other super played cards in Modern. Lava Spur gives haste and ward, very powerful. On a Patchwork or a Kappa especially. Pithing Needle for those pesky Belcher players. Shadow Spear is kind of how I think we beat most of the Boros and Mardu energy lists, giving our things lifelink. Welding Jar obviously can protect something for a turn. The One Thoughtcast is another weird card to me to only play one of. It feels like kind of a filler card. I feel like maybe we want a third cranial or something else over it, but I'm going to trust their list and go with it. In the sideboard, we got Consign for, colorless spells and triggered abilities we care about. We have a full 4 Force of Negation, which is fun. We have 2 Harkle's Recall, which in addition to dealing with opponents' artifacts, can return our own to save them. Usually not worth the swing because it will even return, our artifact lands, but it's possible. We have some more one-of targets for Urza Saga that deal with graveyards. The Chalice of the Void, Damping Sphere are another ones that are odd to me. We're a deck that this slows down significantly. Obviously, I think the idea is like we play Damping Sphere after we've cast most of our cards, and we're only trying to cast 1 or 2 a turn after that. And then Chalice of the Void, I think, is similar, where it's like we play our 0 drops and hope. I think the idea is with Mox Opal, we can try to turn 1 on the play a Chalice of the Void on 1 against something like Boros Energy, and then they never get to deploy their board. And on 1, it's pretty good. These we really want to bring in with Urza Saga anyway, and Springleaf Drums are like negligible. But on 0, it actively hurts us a decent amount. So I think the idea is in decks where you want Chalice on 1, you bring it in. But we're going to go ahead and jump into a league, get some gameplay here. If you aren't already subscribed, it'd be great if you did. This new modern meta is exciting. It's only been a day, but we have already seen some cool decks pop up. I do think the new meta will be a lot of energy and Hollow One. It surprised me that Wizards thought that banning what's it called, the Amped Raptor would really have any effect on energy. It's like I don't know that. Have you ever played energy? It's like your least favorite threat. Just to give an idea of where we're at with the 5-0 decks here, over here on the side. So Mardu mid range is just energy. This is Hollow One. This is energy. So we're at over 16% energy decks. Plus there was another energy deck mislabeled, and there's another Hollow One deck mislabeled. So it's mostly those decks. Mardu energy here. So it's like mid range and energy are the same decks. So that's 8. So it's like 25% we're gonna run into those decks. Let's see. This hand looks a little clunky. Yeah. I don't think we have no 0 drops. We don't have a way to enable our drum. We don't have Opal. We don't have any blue mana. We're not going to get to cast anything anytime soon. So this is a mole. This hand looks much more keepable. If it's a matchup where Needle's good, we might want that. But I think we're going to bottom the Needle, keep Emery and Thoughtcaster our ongoing value, and we have our turn 1 value here. I'll feel bad, obviously, if it's a matchup where we want the Needle, but we are on the draw. They kept 7, it looks like. Yeah. Hey, look at that. Mirror match. Super exciting. Oh, they start with Emery as well. I'm trying to think. In the mirror match, I think Kappa Cannoneer probably and Shadow Spear are what end up deciding the game. Inkmoth isn't terrible to have, so that's nice. We do not have a blue sword. Oh no, we'll get to make a blue mana because of Springleaf. So we'll make a Springleaf, and we now have 3 artifacts to turn on our Opal, and Emery only cost 1 blue. So a very similar start, but we got Opal, so. We milled our Shadow Spear and a Kappa, as well as a nice free Memnite. They got a Bauble as well as a Spell Bomb. They might Spell Bomb our Emery, I suppose. It'll be interesting to see how this goes. If they don't have a flyer, we might just try to use Inkmoth. But can he does Emery only target choose target artifact? You may cast it this turn. I wonder if that works on Darksteel Citadel, because you can't cast it. So we might just get our free. Let's see, we can tap this for blue, this, improvise. I don't think we can get Kappa out, because we don't have the 0. So I think we'll just get Memnite this turn. Yeah, they got Aether Spellbomb. It looks like they want to bounce our Emery. Maybe they're trying to wait for something else. Oh, another Inkmoth. Interesting. Which is this? Come on, MTGO, work with me here. Make sure I want to close out tabs. Make sure it's not my internet going slow or whatever. So this costs 3 and a colorless still, which means this costs 1 and a colorless. So let's get back a Memnite. I think we want just more artifacts first. We'll start getting value off of this later, hopefully. So now this just costs blue. So we'll do this. Oh, is this a Metallic Rebuke? Interesting. Okay. No, I think we're fine with that. We can still make this, right? Yeah, let's just do that. I'd rather have the 2/2 that draws 2 anyway. I mean, our opponent only has 3 artifacts. So I think we're ahead here. Now with the 2 baubles too, I think I'm going to go ahead and start. We can loop baubles with Emery. They'll have another rebuke. Good to know. Drawing more cards. I assume oh no, our opponent didn't crack their bubble. Interesting. Got an island. Does this specify non-land? Return target creature. Okay. They can bounce our Ink Moth. No one has a Cranial yet or a Saga in play. I could loot Bubble, but I also just might want to get the Shadow Spear and put it on the Thought Monitor. I guess with this out, it's kind of annoying. So we know they have another Metallic Rebuke. Not gonna get any other land drop. I'll play this out. See what they got and see what we want to do. Bridge. Can I make a Kappa? Oh, I don't want to play Kappa into Metallic Rebuke. Just get the Shadow Spear, I guess. Or just keep looping bubbles. I'll get the Shadow Spear. I can just afford to pay for Rebuke. They let it resolve. I think we'll put it on the Memnite, so if they bounce the Memnite, we could just replay it. Oh no, I kind of want to replay this, right? Cost 2 to equip. So we'll leave up a blue mana. We still have the Springleaf Drum mana as well. So we'll go to combat. We'll see if they bounce us with the Aether Spell Bomb. Oh, if they do, I guess they could try to Metallic Rebuke it. What are they doing? Okay, well, we'll just pass turn. Not sure exactly what our opponent's plan is here. I don't know why they haven't been looping a Bobble with their Emery. Or looping this Spell Bomb. We knew they had that. We know they still have a Rebuke in hand. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing with their list. I assume they're holding Rebuke for the Kappa Cannoneer, but we might just go for it. It makes it pay 3 more. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Tap a total of 8, so we need 6, so we could hold up only 2 extra mana. So I guess I play out a drum. It's mana neutral, because I'm tapping the drum for mana. And tapping Emery to get a Bobble back is also mana. Oh no, that one's not mana neutral because I'm not going to use it. So I think I'll do the math, but I think if I play a Bobble off Emery, I'll have enough to cast Kappa Cannoneer while holding up 3 colorless. He can bounce it, but that means we'll have it the next turn anyway. Okay, so they're playing a Bobble finally. Play it back. There we go. Figured out the Bobble looping technique. Holding up 2 mana. They're playing the Bobble. Cranial. Well, that's pretty good. Don't like this Spell Bomb. Wish I had what's it called? Pithing Needle for Spell Bomb. I think cast this. If they try to rebuke, I think I'll just pay for it. I think having Planing in play will just put us ahead. And I'll just make a Bobble. Maybe loop it again. So I'm going to go to equip it here. And and go to combat. I assume they're going to bounce this. This has to be their plan, right? Oh, I should have attacked with this, because then I could move cranial plating over. Yeah. Okay. You did it. You bounced it. But now I get to play it again. You can counter it, but then I can cast it again. In fact, I'll just Springleaf drum the Memnite for another drum and then use that one to cast Thought Monitor. Like, I don't... This isn't... We're doing fine. Cancel, actually. Let's go like this. Oh, I can't... Oh, that was dumb. Now I can't tap it for blue. My bad, my bad, my bad. That was a misplay. I admit my mistakes. Lava Spur boots are pretty good. Okay. They probably have to return the Spell Bomb, I assume. Having Spell Bomb is definitely good for them. There we go, that's good. We'll try to Kappa. And then we can recast the Thought Monitor, I believe. I played out the Lava Spur. Weird matchup. We are ahead in life, and we're ahead on artifacts on board, which I think, at the end of the day means we're winning. We also have both Plating and Shadow Spear, so if they for some reason don't return their Aether Spell Bomb, we can turn anything into a huge threat for the low price of 3 mana. We can just equip Shadow Spear, equip Cranial Plating to this, and swing for a bunch. How many artifacts do I have? Does it tell me? It'd be nice if it told me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're getting their Thought Monitor. Okay. So then we get to swing for a bunch. Don't think they have anything that can interact with that. Oh, they have another blue mana. Okay. They might have a bounce spell. They might have another Metallic Rebuke. Love to see a Saga. It's interesting we've seen no Sagas. I mean, we milled one, but neither of us have played a Saga this game. That's another thing. The Saga tokens kind of break this wide open too, where they'd have to be looping the Aether Spell Bomb to deal with them. Oh, he's making a Kappa. Okay. That is a clock. But it means I get to make my Kappa as well. Can I do Kappa plus equip this? Let's do Kappa first. Don't need to use that many lands. Okay. These being tapped does nothing. These being tapped does nothing. Tap this, don't want to use it this turn, and then a blue. Then we will equip this here. Equip this. So if we 10, let's make it 11. And buffs up our Kappa, which is nice. So if he doesn't block this, he can't possibly swing back for lethal because we're gaining 11. So yeah, again, I think because we have the equipments, we're in better shape here. He obviously can make his Kappa unblockable and swing for maybe, I mean, he could have what? Even if he had 4 or 5. Either Spell Bomb, he can bounce our Kappa. Or no, he can't because of Ward. He can bounce the Memnite, but we'll be able to move around our... Again, I think the, what's it called? The Shadow Spear is the big thing here, right? Just hitting them for damage isn't enough. We had gaining the life is part of what means that we're in a really good place here. And again, I'm surprised I don't know why they weren't just looping Spellbomb to keep us off of like connecting with Shadow Spear. Yeah. Okay, I don't know. I don't know exactly what their hand was. Chalice would be interesting here. I think we do want the recalls and consigns. I guess Soul Guide is somewhat good. I don't know that I want Force because it's only good against spells on their turn, really. I'm not holding up 3 mana most of the time. And I'm more concerned about the spells they're casting on my turn. What can we afford here? I feel like Needle is worth it because of turning off something like Emery if I don't have Emery. But maybe that's too limited. Do you trim actually like Memnites? Because they're not often getting through, although you can't go down too far on zero. Your 0 drops get really low there. Emery's like so powerful. But we need blue mana. I don't know if I feel like that might be too many 0 drops. Like I said, I've never actually, not never, I've played Affinity lists before, but I have not played this one specifically. Not super familiar. I feel like Springleaf is actually what's clunky a little bit, especially for trimming creatures. Let's bring in some of the creatures. Trim a Springleaf. I don't know that Welding Jar is as necessary. They're mostly bouncing things. We did bring in 1/1 drop. Bring in more blue cards. Maybe we cut the Thoughtcast to keep. I think we need a density of both creatures and 0 drops, so I don't want to cut that many. I'll run it back. See how it goes. Winning game 1 feels good. We were on the draw and mulligan, so I think Saga is very good and Shadow Spear is very good in this matchup. So I think this is worth keeping, even though we don't have a blue source. We can go get an Opal with our Saga. And this is a deck that doesn't care about playing Saga out on turn 1. We don't have to get tokens out of it for it to be worth it. Our opponent has unfortunately mulled to 4, which feels bad. I am curious, maybe kind of a similar problem where it's like if you board in a bunch of counter magic and board out like artifacts, you make your deck just worse at doing its main thing. That's what I was worried about there. So I think we found a decent balance in what we cut and what we kept. Took out Thoughtcast, 2 drums, and a Memnite Needle and a jar. 3 consigned, 2 Hercles. We can expect similar cards out of them. Well, they have a good start too. Better than ours, it looks like. On average. Well, for 4 cards, it's a pretty good 4 cards. They don't really have the payoff yet, but they could if they draw any mana source, they can start making tokens. Which definitely seems worth it. Yeah. Ours is a little slower. Torn because Patchwork, I kind of want to get down before I play my 0 drops. Because I drew another land, I think that's what we're going to do. Otherwise, I would be burning the Bauble, possibly. So next time we make Patchwork, we get 2 counters on it, so then they're not swinging in anytime soon. We hope they miss a land here and don't get to make tokens off this. Oh, of course, that's what they drew. Opponent's doing really well for their Molda 4. We have inevitability, I feel like, but their start is good. This is good. They're going to make a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. Not ideal for us. Well, oh, I didn't mean to do that. Because that would trigger Cannoneer, right? But like I said, this will slow them down, but they're gonna, like I said, they're gonna make a 6/6 or 5/5 or whatever. That is gonna be unfortunate for us. I am gonna burn this Bauble aggressively here. Okay, another land. And they're gonna get to fetch something off this too. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So then 6 off the fetch, possibly make a 7th one. Their Constructs are gonna hit hard and fast here. So we need. Okay, that is a good draw. Emery would be great now to loop this, but we'll get rid of one construct token for sure. If I were them, I would make a construct right now. I think that's better than anything else they can do. We knew they drew a land, so it's gonna get even bigger. I think we might take a hit from one. Not sure I want to throw away a chump block at this point because Shadow Spear might end up going on the Ornithopter, gain some life. I guess we probably want it on the patchwork, but I think we're just gonna go get Opal, especially with drawing this. We'll double check. We'll take a look as our opponent is taking a look. It seems. Take a look in a book. This is a long match for two aggressive decks. I guess we're both blue decks, but opponent has burned about 3 more minutes off the clock than we have. Yeah, here we go. Make your guy, make your guy. Good job. You figured it out. This is the way you're going to win, is by beating me down with tokens fast. And then that will turn into Lava Spur Boots. He could equip it. Wow, he could swing for... Oh no, he's needling me. Is he going to needle Shadow Spear? Does he know I drew Spell Bomb because he's watching my live stream? Just kidding, I'm not streaming. But he might be watching. No, it's Shadow Spear. That makes more sense. What's going on? I'm getting pinged all over the place on Discord here. I think we'll take 8. Yikes. Doesn't feel good, especially now that we can't use Shadow Spear. We don't get to make a token of our own. So yeah, I think we're just getting Mox Opal. Soul Guide Lantern doesn't really do anything. Guess we could get another like Memnite as a chump blocker. Ornithopter. I drew a blue source. I have a blue source for Aether Bomb, so I can play Aether Bomb with this colorless. Play Island, use it to bounce a token. I have 1 colorless mana left. Not a whole lot that I could do. If I had Springleaf Drum, there's not a whole lot that I could do. 1, 2. I think Opal just enables more things than anything else. We do have to survive though. I can bounce 1, chump another, and I can auto water on next turn. 1, 2, 3. I need to draw another land. Okay. This is our best bet. Go like this, go like this. Hopefully we can just grow our patchwork big enough, but it's gonna be hard to do. Can we do this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're 1 short, so we could possibly do that, but then we'd be tapping down everything. So yeah, this is a chump block turn. Keep patchwork back to stop the Memnite, I suppose. If I had Shadow Sphere, this is where I'd like equip it and swing to gain life back, but can't do that. So we need 1 more mana to be able to use this, or we can make a Kappa Cannoneer. No, we're gonna have to chump block here. So oh, that's bad for us. Sorry, my opponent's taking forever, and I was just reading on Discord. We chump. You can spellbomb this, right? No, he's 1 mana short. You can next turn, though. Land? Okay. This gives us hope. This means we can eventually set up a Cannoneer and start swinging. I think we just start swinging now. We might see this bounce next turn anyway. Our opponent obviously can draw good cards too. We would love to see a Thought Monitor or an Emery. Even another Patchwork wouldn't be terrible. Another Saga, because at this point we could actually make... Oh, he got the Emery. That's not ideal for us. At least he can't get back Saga. Get this Opal, though. So no Spellbomb this turn. Take one, that's fine. I think we might have to tap out for a Cannoneer here. We have to tap the Patchwork, though. Not ideal, but we gotta get more threats on the board. Emery is good. Do I want Cannoneer first? Probably not. Probably just want Emery out. I have a Bobble, a Loop, and they have Spellbomb too. But it's interesting. Very interesting matchup. I think with playing the Emery, we can swing again with Patchwork. We're one short of being able to make a Cannoneer as well. What are you doing, opponent? Why does it take so long every time? Take a look in a book. Another Cannoneer, Ornithopter, Consign. Okay. The Mox Opals kind of a moot point, but having, like I said, Spellbomb and Bobble in there are what I'm more concerned with. They can Spellbomb our Emery, I suppose, which would be annoying. Oh, they're sacking it to draw a card. So that means they're returning it with Emery, I assume. I guess if we just get a Kappa out, we can kill him pretty quick here because they've let the Patchwork hit him a few times. Assuming they don't find some other big threat, they won't really be able to bounce this. They can bounce this though. Yeah, I think maybe we should have let on Kappa instead of Emery, but my thought was Emery could make our Kappa bigger, right? But I think we want Kappa out just because once we get one that doesn't have Summoning Sickness, our threats get that much bigger. Oh. Oh, that would be a reason to keep in Pithing Needle. That's unfortunate. That's really good against Kappa Cannoneer. He can loop this with his Emery, so we are in not a good spot now. It's been clunky whole game, but he can just exile Shadow Spear, exile our Opal, exile a Darksteel Citadel if he wants to. He gets to gain 2 life. Yeah, the Opal. That's fair. Yeah, it hurts us quite a bit. Looping a Haywire Might. We didn't have enough to make a Kappa. Does this give us enough? 2, 3, 4. Do that, because that at least has ward. Interesting, interesting. So I think we're gonna try to ride this out and hope we don't die to looping Haywire Might. They get to gain 2 life a turn, but obviously he hits hard pretty quick. We did have to not use our Bobble that turn, but I think it's worth getting him down. Opponent has some like options, but they're all like good options. And they're drawing cards, so it's like I don't know. The ward is what's saving Kappa right now. Ward 4. If he gets a land, he'll have enough to kill this through ward. I assume he might just hit like our lands. Yeah. And once we're out of lands, we'll be in a rough spot. I don't know that we'll be able to cast this other Kappa ever. Guess I'll go for Emery again, because he can't return both Spellbomb and Haywire Might. But I really want to have a artifact so I can swing with Kappa this turn. I guess I can swing with Kappa and Patchwork anyway. He just has to chump block a bunch. Can I cast this? It's cost 2. I think that's worth it. Triggers both Kappa and Patchwork and draws me cards, which hopefully I hit another land or a Mox Opal would be just beautiful right now. Okay, we got another 0-drop. Oracle's Recall can do things as well. So we don't get to make the Emery this turn. But let's see what they're drawing next turn. Rebuke. Awesome. Good to know. We do get to swing for a lot. They have to chump this. Yeah. And we got a flyer as well. The 2/2 flyer will be relevant. With the Kappa Cannoneer, one artifact next turn what could be lethal. So it's like now if they loop the Haywire Might, they can loop it. They'd have to, so they can't loop it and hit our Patchwork or Kappa. So they could hit our Darksteel Citadel and gain 2 life, but then they're dead to any artifact. So I assume they're getting the, what are they getting? I didn't see. Haywire Might, okay. They can use it on what? They are just gonna hit the land, okay. Oh, I forgot Haywire Might's non-creature. I always forget that. I can't even hit these this whole time. Non-creature artifact, okay. He didn't leave himself with blue mana for improvise, so I think we have lethal. Questiony of questioning marks. Oh, well, this isn't unblockable. But be 8. And I might as well do this now, since it's got to get hit by a Haywire Might anyway. Swing for 9 unblockable, which means he has to block both Patchwork and Thought Monitor. So I'm leaving it with no blockers, so it doesn't really matter that we've run out of everything else. Oh, I could have played Emery. Emery would have been better, but it is what it is. Maybe not. So this gets blocked by this gets blocked by this. They go to 2 and have only Emery left. And I will have 3 lethal attackers next turn. I guess Thought Monitor won't stay lethal if he does Haywire Might again, but he does draw an unknown card. If it's Hurkyl's Recall, we are in trouble. For sure. But to win through the needle on... Okay, we did it. That was a tight match. That was a lot of fun. Tempted to play another, but I'm also very hungry. I will play another. I can wait to eat my lunch. Give the people what they want. Just barely managed to mute myself before coughing there. 2-0 in our first match. That was an interesting one at the mirror there. I'm expecting to see, energy decks and Hollow One decks more than Affinity decks, but let's see what happens. This hand doesn't cast anything. I'm trying to see. We can't even turn on a Mox Opal. We can't get Emery out. It's just a clunky. All our top end stuff. This hand's a little more doable. Maybe we actually go for the slow Saga. We start on Darksteel, so that Saga can actually make tokens and then chain some Thought Monitors. We'll keep the blue source. We tuck the welding jar. No, it's really our only enabler. We'll tuck Cannoneer. We'll draw one later. What is our opponent doing? Amulet. Okay, we might be dead turn 2, so, you know, it doesn't even matter. Well, that's not terrible. It's not terrible, although we need the blue source, which is a little awkward. So we might have to wait on Saga. But I kind of need it. I think I will play Saga next week. Maybe I should have actually let on Saga once I saw it was Amulet. So I can get out a Mox out as fast as possible. But like I said, it might not matter. Spelunking. Okay, we know he has a bounce land. So he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He has a potential one next turn. Memnites. We need the blue source for Spellbomb. So I don't think I can afford to cast this. Yep. That's our hope. What is our hope? That somehow we bounce a Titan and he can't replay it, but when he plays a Titan, he gets 2 lands. There's no way he won't have enough mana to recast it. I don't think there's a way that that actually stops them, but we'll try our best. Saga. And then Patchwork. Yeah, we're pretty slow here and not the best interaction. Seems they're slow. They don't have a Titan, so... Oh shoot, they're gonna just make a Saga token here. Should pay attention. Guess I could trade my Aether Spellbomb for a Saga token. Theirs would be a 1, 2, 3, 4. Ours are going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. First one. Yeah, I think we just start chaining Thought Monitors next turn. If I can do Thought Monitor plus make a token, we hope to kill them before they draw. This is a loose attack, but our opponent is thinking about it. Sometimes when you make a dumb play, it makes people think you're really smart. But actually, I was being negligent. No blocks. Perfect. I didn't have a play it if he did block. Okay, they're not making token. They want to use map to go get what? Teleria West? Yes, so they can... They have enough? I think they have enough. They can go get another amulet, and then they can play it, make 2, 4, 6 mana. 3 blue goes and gets Summoner's Pack. Summoner Pack goes and gets Titan. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, they have the Arboro Brazier. So now they have enough mana, yeah. We'll see which way they go about it. They might just make a bunch of Titans. And then when they go to give one like haste, we can bounce it maybe? I don't know. I don't think there's a way we can actually win here. Or not die here. Let alone winning. What green creature do you think they will reveal? I am so curious what it could be. What? A Primeval Titan? What does that do? Wow, Primeval Titan seems good. Triple Amulet. Who could it be? These amulets that I did see. Lands enter untapped. Spelunking is just a 4th amulet. So you've got a ton of mana. To see. Very confused. Is he just setting up to pay for Pact? Oh no, he has Mirror Pool. Sorry, I thought he got two Simic Growth Chambers because the Magic Online moved it around. So we'll bounce it in response to this. And then he can just recast it. But it is what it is. We tried. That's the best we can do. So he gets to recast it. And if he has another Mirror Pool, he can still make. Or he can just get Haste and Vigilance or whatever now. Usually, I mean, I think a lot of decks are just playing the Handwar battlements, whatever they're called. He's got the Echoing Deeps. Means he has another Mirror Pool. Just want to see what his haste land is. We might needle Mirror Pool or not Saga, probably Mirror Pool or Expedition Map, but it's possible you needle the land that gives haste. Just want to see which land that is. Opponent clearly knows what they're doing. Our hand was a little just slow and clunky. They also had a good hand. Double Amulet, Spelunking, and Saga. And the map is a very slow way of getting. Not very. Yeah. You play the map, you gotta go get the T West. T West goes and gets packed. Show me what haste land you used. Why is this taking so long? With Trample, I only have a 1/1 blocker, so it's not like he has to really consider a lot on my end of the board. Boseiju. You gotta Boseiju my stuff. Rude. So it is Hammer Battlements. Okay, I'll get my island. He didn't. What? I gave one haste. Couldn't he untap this like 4 times? Oh no, because it doesn't enter tapped. Not quite dead. I'm still slightly alive. Come on, deck. We can do this. I don't know that we can, but you know, you gotta talk to your deck like it's possible. Cruise Cave and Shifting Woodlands. How much does this cost right now? So I think with this, we'll be able to change some thought monitors. Maybe not die. I don't know. We're definitely not gonna be able to cast this, so I think we'll just cast another thought monitor. We need a couple more. If we hit 2 0 drops, hey, there we go. Our Patchwork Automon becomes big enough to actually block the Primeval Titan. It's not terrible. We can give it a little regenerate. Keep it alive. Okay. This isn't terrible. We can next turn we could sink the token one if this blocks the big one. Maybe we don't die. I'm trying to think. I mean, I think they shifting wood. I think they can like loop lands with the bear or something. I think they have a way to win through a bunch of blockers, but they're not playing the one that actually buffs them up. I can afford to take 6. Okay, make all the mana. What are you doing with it though? They have no extra land drops. Their shifting woodlands can become what? Pool, I guess? Why is this so slow? Come on, Magic Online. You're ticking down my clock. I guess I could just... a quality program. Just always yield to that one. The Amulet trigger. Okay, so Hammer Battalion. We're going to search our library for a land, put it in the battlefield. Tapped. Another bounce land? Lotus Field. Yep. Makes me feel like he has the bear or a way to get the bear if he's sacking his lands. Makes so much mana this deck with 3 amulets out. It's insane. Who could it be? This animal that I did see. Is it another Titan? Green Sun Zenith for 6. Yeah, that's fun. There's the bear. You gotta really like clicking through stuff to play this deck. I mean, I click through stuff to play Neobrand, but it's not this much stuff. Can you help me guess this mystery? And then you can mirror pull the Lumra and sack it, right? And then shifting woodlands it or something. I don't know. There's some land, or no, you have to have the analyst to have like the straight up just loop forever. Curious to see it. Curious to see it. We'll always yield to your Urza Saga. That's fine. I don't need to see my battlefield. It does nothing. This is 16/16, but it doesn't have trample, so we can just throw a Ornithopter or a Memnite in front of it if it gives it haste. The Prime Titans are the ones we're more worried about, and we can trade with one of them and bounce the other one next turn. We'll yield to that every time. You have bazillions of mana. Do you win with all that mana? Like I'm genuinely curious. Do you shifting woodlands the Titan and swing with the woodlands? We're transmuting. We're getting another Summoner's Pact, I assume. We packed up the Analyst, right? He's a green card. I don't know. No, it's Dryad. Okay, so we're going for Valakut now. I assume. Still have a billion mana and a billion lands. What are we doing now? You didn't use Mirror Pool though? Interesting. Now we're Mirror Pooling now. Yeah. Now we get a Titan. And we go get double Valakut, I assume. I think at that point we'll just concede. Just the triggers off 3 Titans. Oh, but he doesn't have a lot of lands left. How many lands does he play in the deck? He's only played 18. He probably plays at least 5, 6 more lands. So yeah. Going to combat would kill me, right, with Valakut triggers? Or does he has a way to kill me before going to combat? Why wouldn't he have he just searched up a land. Why didn't he just get it? Oh, Vasuva can't see Valakut when they enter at the same time, maybe? That'll do it. That'll do it. Cool. Consign can hit their amulets and they trigger off Saga. They use their graveyard a decent amount, so maybe I want those. Definitely want Damping Spheres. I feel like all these are good. Chalice might be a little loose. I'm trying to think. What are we taking out in this? Cut here. Cut a plating. I guess needle is, he has a lot of things I can name, but he has so many different things. Right, I can name the cave, can name the mirror pool. I think naming mirror pool is good enough most of the time. Spellbomb's just probably not good. Shadow Spear gaining life is nice. Probably need the welding jar. I have to be the control deck in this matchup. Oracle's Recall is good enough, I think. Is Force good enough? Do we go in full control mode? That means we have to trim some Cannoneers. Keep the Thought Monitors because they draw. Keep Emery, maybe trim a plating even. Trim plating completely, so we just have like Patchwork, one Cannoneer, but we have the Shadow Spear. And we can make Saga tokens. We're trying to like play defense. Still 5 heavy though. Cut a 4. Oh, I mean Force on like one of their first. Cut a Recall. I do need to keep my blue cards up high enough, right? Is that enough? Blue cards, almost 20. Damping Sphere is better than Graveyard Hate or Needle. Cut a Springleaf or 2, but we need blue mana, so we can't go too low. Cut an Emery. I'm not. Don't guarantee my sideboarding is correct here. I think we keep a hand with. Do we keep a hand with no land and Damping Sphere? Hmm. Let's just top. Let's just top deck a. Let's just top deck a land. We got Opal. It's like an Affinity of old. 1, 2, 3, 4. Top deck a land, and we get to play Damping Sphere. We're in a great spot. Obviously, if we had the land, we'd be in a better spot. I have the Amulet. Land. That's not landed. Now it's too late for the Amulet, and this costs 3. So we can't do anything. We're like the pirates who can't do anything. Hopefully we can consign. Maybe he has a second Amulet. This doesn't counter Teleria West. Counter that first Titan trigger, but then next turn he gets to swing with it. It's not ideal. We can't counter that, and the likely just means we're dead. Cool. We'll draw Darksteel Citadel. Let's go. Right off the top. Nope. Force. Oh, man. Swing for 0. Send a message. My Thopter is ornery. I mean, it was a loose keep. Could have been good, though. Should have mulled. But that's okay. We get a loss. I cannot force negation that. It's gonna kill us pretty quick. We'll just concede here. The oof is a big oof. I'm gonna chalk it up to being hungry and impatient, and I should have mulliganed. But deck feels cool overall. Hope you're having a fun day, and please like, subscribe, comment. Any questions, thoughts? Tell me how to sideboard against Amulet.